Abel. Hope everyone's having a good morning so far. Um, Looking forward to today's class as we continue talking about monitoring and controlling. Before we do, though, we have the great Ricky, who is today's assistant instructor, Mr. Ricardo. How are you, Ricky?
Hey, good morning, Eric. I'm pretty good. Yourself?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Are you tired this morning? You sound like you're a little sleepy.
Nah, that's just my voice when I wake up.
Gotcha.
I woke
Totally
up
get
like
it.
20 minutes ago, and yeah.
Well, you look very good for just waking up 20 minutes ago. And so thank you so much for being here today and being today's assistant instructor. So what's your story, Ricky? Where are you from?
So I was originally born here in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Was sent to Mexico in a crate to be raised by my grandparents and my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Got sent back here when I was 7, and I've been here ever since. Main reason why I joined Europe is, I mean, similar story to everybody, I guess. College just wasn't doing it for me, and I just turned 25, so I wanted to, stop being a server and actually get a career for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually got really lucky having a late birthday and got into the program because the age limit was 25, and I wasn't gonna be able to, get in.
All right.
And
So
then, as you know, a couple months later, they raised the age to like 26. So
yeah. Yeah. But that's good. So you made it just in time though to join the program, and that's great. So looking to build your career was your big reason for joining. Great. And what's a fun fact about you, Ricardo?
mm, I guess fun fact is I collect a lot of pop toys, which is I don't know if anyone knows what those are. They're like anime toys and things like that. I
Okay,
actually have
cool.
one here.
Oh yes, this is like show and tell. I love it.
It's like one of my biggest ones.
Okay,
I don't know if anyone knows this show, but
hold on a second. Let me see this spotlight for everyone. Pull it back up, Ricky. I want to see it again. So which one is this?
this is from Attack on Titan. I don't know if
Okay.
anybody knows that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have no idea, but I'm sure other people do. Jalissa says I love those. So cool. Awesome. So you collect those. That's great. So what's a question that you want to pose to our group this morning? A warm up question.
If you could have any piece of knowledge, what would it be?
Whoa, that's
And be an
heavy.
expert at it.
You can be an
Yeah.
expert at any topic. Topic would it be? So in the chat box, if you could be an expert on any topic or have a piece of knowledge on any topic, what would it be? Ricardo, what would yours be?
Honestly, just lottery numbers, nice house.
Mhm.
It would be, investing and things like that, real estate, anything that has to do with, being able to, provide an income for myself and work for myself. And
Awesome. So yeah.
yeah.
So you would want, the nice thing about what you want to do, that's definitely feasible. You could learn about money and how to manage money and how to manage capital. So that's great. That's what you're interested in learning. One of the things that I thought of, which nobody put it yet, is I would love to be like knowledgeable of like different languages, like to be able to speak like Spanish, Chinese, French, Italian, German. That would be like a really useful skill to have, I think, in like business, to be able to work all around the world and have proficiency in like multiple languages. That'd be mine. So look, what do we got going on here? We got, it's a great question, by the way. Lottery numbers. Yeah, that would be kind of nice. Health. I love it, Usman. Excel knowledge. Don't worry, Manny. Just mod 3. You'll be a pro. Um, well, I don't know what that is, Rahul. Quick matha. Is that a typo or is that like a
Oh,
thing?
like quick math, yeah.
A quick math. Okay. People psychology. Yeah, Hannah, that would be really really useful. Coding, Moses says, definitely very useful. IT, fitness, music theory, how to make a successful business so I can make more money, math, learning every discipline of technology, money and food, programming, just quick at math. Yeah, absolutely. That'd be pretty awesome. I don't know if you guys ever saw this movie. It's pretty old. It's like from my youth, so that shows you how old it is. It's called, gosh, what is it called? Goodwill Hunting. You guys ever see that movie? It's a really great movie with is it Matt Damon, the main character, and Robin Williams when he was still alive? Anyways, the guy's like a math wizard. I highly recommend it. One of the best movies you'll ever see. Good Will Hunting. Thanks. Yeah, David saw it. It's based in Boston. It's a bunch of Irish guys. It's a great film. So I would highly recommend it. But that guy's like an expert at math. So awesome. Well, thank you, Rick. And so once again, Rick is today's assistant instructor. So anything questions you have, you raise your hand or put in the chat box, and he can flag me down, and I'm happy to answer that for you. Also, really quick, Kachun texted me before class started to give you guys a quick announcement. Let me just make sure I read it verbatim so I say it right. Hi, Eric. Can you announce to the class that my class is turning async? The PowerPoint in the lab is already published for them to work on. I have to go through IT help to get some stuff resolved. So I have limited access to my computer. Did you guys get the information from Kachun already? You know what you're doing for his class? No? All right, so why don't we just take like a second and go on in and look at Schoology really quickly, make sure that you see what's required of you. His class being async, that means that he isn't going to be doing an actual class. I think he's having some tech trouble today. So spend like 30 seconds, go into his class, make sure you know what's expected of you, and it'll be good. Hey, Jacob. All right. So once you kind of see on Schoology, just give me a green check so I know that you're good of what you're doing today for Kachun's class. All right. No problem. Happy to have you. I thought you were a guest speaker today, Jacob. What are you talking about? Oh, come on. 45-minute lecture on how to be a great leader. You'd be a pro at that. All right, Ashley Gavin, please, do you mind unmuting yourself and sharing with the group what is it we're doing? You there, Ashley? Oh, I can't unmute myself. Okay. All right, Luis.
Give me 1 second. I just had it.
No problem. Sorry to put you on the spot. I just want to make sure that someone can share it out because I don't have access to his course. So
Usman wants to share.
Oh, Usman has his hand up. All right, Usman, what's going on with that class?
Hey, so I was wondering, what were we like? I was cutting off when you was talking about what we were supposed to do for Kachun's class.
Yeah, that's what we're figuring out right now. Kachun texted me and said that he's not doing a class today. He's having tech issues, but he uploaded what he wants done into his Schoology. And here in a moment, Luis is going to explain what's going on because he found it in Schoology.
Awesome.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, Rick, I can go over that pretty well.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sure. Yeah.
It's chapter 10 and 11, I think. I don't know, but I think Ricardo for sure knows.
Yeah, Ricardo, what does Kachun want you guys to do today?
So he didn't update anything. There's no updates or anything. So most likely he just wants us to take the time and work on our lab.
Sure.
Like most times, there's times that he does async class and we're used to that from him sometimes.
Yeah.
But we probably won't have to log into the class if he didn't ask anybody to, monitor the class. So I think we should be fine with just working on our lab and not showing into the link. So
yeah, that's what I gathered too. Yeah. So it's like the PowerPoint in the lab, he says, has already been published. And then his class is async today. So you don't have to go to his class, just work on the lab. So only work on the lab that's due today. Is that how you understand it, Ricardo?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, cool. Andre, do you have a question or a comment?
Yeah, I was just looking at the calendar. I just wanted to confirm something real quick. Did you switch the deliverable that was last night to Thursday?
Yes, because the first part of the deliverable, which is your initial post, that was due last night. And then the 2 responses are due on Thursday.
Okay.
Yep. So as long as you did your original post last night, you're good. The reason I did that, Andre, is because sometimes what happens is, apologize for the crying baby in the back. Sometimes what happens is I don't switch it to Thursday and then people don't do the second half. So I try to remember every single week. Some weeks I remember, some weeks I don't. But yes, the reason I switched it to Thursday is because everybody should have wrote the original post last night. I'm going to go through and grade that this afternoon. And then your responses to at least 2 posts are due Thursday at midnight. So cool. You want to meet offline to work on what together, Manny?
Sorry, right now I'm in Palmer.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought I was only Eric in the class, but I guess not. Yes, Eric and Manny, you guys enjoy. Don't ask me to help you with Kachun's work because I will not be very helpful. All right. Usman, do you have a question or a comment?
Yes, Eric. I'm unable to open the homework for last night. I was unable to open it yesterday as well. When I click on it, it's just telling me error.
The discussion board on Schoology?
Yes. Like I'm trying it on my phone.
Okay. Can anybody else give me like a green check if you had that problem? Anyone else had the issue? Or is it just Usman? All right, Usman, do me a favor, just email me and I'll be sure to mark that for your for the last night's assignment. Thanks for the heads up.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I think Andre put a green check as well, so I'm not sure. If
So,
you
okay,
have
okay.
this.
So maybe Andre, you had the same trouble. Yeah, if anybody had trouble with it, did you have a trouble, Andre?
Yeah, I actually had trouble with it at first, but I just kind of left it alone, came back to it later. I guess it was working by the time I came back.
Cool. Okay, great. Thanks for that. Yeah, sometimes I think Schoology has had some issues the last couple of days. So anytime that it happens where you can't upload an assignment, please just let me know as soon as possible. And then I'll be sure, obviously, to be mindful of that when grading. Moses, did you have a question or comment? All right, I guess not. But you're off mute, Moses. I'm gonna put you back on mute. All right, let's go ahead and jump into our lesson. First of all, in the chat box or raise your hand. What did we discuss yesterday? Let's remind ourselves of what we talked about yesterday. And make sure we're all on the same page. So raise your hand, put in the chat box if you have a memory of what we talked about 24 hours ago. Not even that, 22 hours ago.
Moses has his hand up.
Yep. Go ahead, Moses.
Guys, you guys hear me?
Yeah, you sound kind of faint though. Are you okay?
Yeah, I just got a really sore throat.
Oh man, okay. Well,
But
go ahead.
Real cool. Specifically, we were talking about the steps in accomplishing, a project, and we also talked about the deliverable yesterday. Because some of us already got ahead and finished them.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Moses. And if you're not feeling well, man, feel free. If you gotta, log off and go rest, please don't kill yourself. Take care of yourself. You don't sound so hot. Drink some tea. Who is next,
Andre
Ricardo?
and David. Andre and David.
Remember in the video that we watched, they was talking about implementation and that there was 3 parts: key input, and and I believe it's the execution itself, then the key output, and then the deliverables are always required for the planning.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Andre. Appreciate that. That's spot on. Here's a can I give you guys a midterm question, a freebie? All right. True or false? Red X, true. I'm sorry, red check, true. The green X, false. The execution phase is the longest phase in the project life cycle. True or false? We talked about this yesterday. I see 9 trues and 0 falses, which would be correct. Anybody who put the green check for true is right. So you got 1 right out of all the questions. The execution, which that goes in tandem with the monitoring control, is the longest phase of project management. You have the initiation, you have the planning, you do all of that, then you execute and monitor control simultaneously. And then you have the closing. The longest is making sure everything goes the way it's supposed to go, which, let's face it, we live in an imperfect world. Nothing goes the way it's supposed to go. So that's why monitoring, controlling, like I shared yesterday, this is the bread and butter of project management, making sure everything stays on time, on task, on budget. And David Torres with his hand up is going to explain to us what exactly does monitor and control mean. That sounds really fancy, but in regular terms, what does that mean, David Torres?
I was going to talk about perform quality assurance.
No, you weren't. You were going to tell us what monitor and control meant. So please, we're all ears.
I actually don't remember what it was.
It's okay. It's essentially exactly how it sounds. You monitor what the behavior is, what's going on, and you control, if things are going off the rails. That's all. So what were you going to say, David? I'm sorry to tease you.
That's cool. So perform quality assurance. I think we talked about making sure every step in the process is coordinated.
Yep.
Well managed, and meeting the appropriate standards.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Thank you, David. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to share some scenarios that could happen in project management, and I want to hear from you how you would handle them. All right. I think that one of the deficiencies that I've identified from yesterday's class is I think some of you could use some growth. I think we all can use some growth in how we handle leadership responsibilities. So as a project manager, you're a leader. People are looking to you to guide them to the success of the project. You're managing people's personalities, you're managing their schedules, you're helping them be successful, you're removing roadblocks. I mean, you're for every intent and purpose a leader. So the first question I'm going to pose you, I'm going to give a scenario. We're going to talk about it at large. And then the second scenario, you're going to go into pairs and talk about it as pairs. So I'm going to read the scenario, and then we'll have you raise your hand if you think you would know how you would handle this scenario. Sound good? All right. You are leading a project team to build a new app that your company will use for feedback within the organization. You have a very lean team of only 4 people: yourself, which your name is Tony, Mariah, who is your engineer, James, who does user experience, and Paul, who does marketing and promotion. The team works really well together, and you're delivering on time and under budget. So great job, project manager. You're ready to go live, which means you're going to, roll it out, and you're in your weekly stand-up meeting as a team. Paul's role for this meeting was to create a communications plan, which includes emails, flyers, posts on Chatter and Slack, which are the internal communication channels, to build excitement around the feedback app. Yet he hasn't done any part of the project and hasn't even thought about it, which he never communicated before this meeting. You are infuriated and berate Paul in front of everyone. What were you thinking? This goes live this week and we have no plan? We're screwed. You really dropped the ball here, Paul. Paul snaps closed his laptop. He rushes out of the room, mumbling under his breath, and you're sitting there with Mariah and James, who are both staring at the floor, embarrassed. And so are you. So what do you do after this fit of anger that you had with your colleague, Paul? So if you think that you know what you would do as a project manager after yelling at one of your teammates, having him rush out of the room, and now you're sitting there awkwardly with 2 other people on the team, raise your hand if you think this is how I would handle that situation after I lost my temper with one of our teammates. And don't say, I would never lose my temper, because we're humans. We're all humans. We've all lost our temper before. So what do you think he would do?
His hand up, and then Moses.
Yep. Let's hear from Andre. Sounds great. Thanks, Ricardo.
In those situations, I remember them. They talk about that you can't be easily upset. You have to be ready to be flexible and adaptable to situations. So I would reach out to the teammate, apologize about me snapping at them, but I would also have to reinstate that this is an important part of the project. We have to have this completed. So if you don't mind just putting in a little bit more effort. Once again, afterwards, I'll apologize for my lashing out.
Thank you.
Okay, we got Moses and then Hannah. And then before they go, there was two answers in the chat, and they were similar. Just apologize to Paul, and I would apologize for the fit from Ashley and Eric.
So apologize. Great.
What I would do is go chasing behind the person, pull them to the side privately, apologize, and tell them they have the option to leave or come back. But we're gonna get this done with or without them in the time we have.
Mhm.
And
Thanks.
remind them everyone has in their part except for them.
Mhm. Thanks, Moses. Who's next, Ricky?
Hannah's up next, and we have 3 more people after that. I don't know if you want that many more.
Oh yeah, let's hear from everyone who has their hand up now, and then we'll move on to the next scenario.
All right. After Hannah would be Mohammed, Manny, and then Karina.
Mahmood, right?
Sorry. Hey, it's
Hey,
Hannah.
Hannah.
Thank you, Ricardo. I would actually take a step back from it all. So like one thing you have to recognize is that up until that point, everything was perfect, like deliverable early and everything was under budget. So you kind of, after the situation happens, I would send an email out to everyone to apologize for the behavior and then send another separate email to Paul to apologize for your behavior. And then I would take a step back and see like maybe he's stressed or something else is wrong, because if everything has been perfect so far, why is this mistake happening now? So it's all about kind of like knowing your team members sort of, and then you can make the steps like, okay, if he's stressed, maybe I should take this off his plate and maybe I can handle it, and then we can discuss the steps moving forward and our expectations after that.
Thanks, Hannah. Mahmood?
Well, just like others said, I apologize. I first apologize to the employees who witnessed that. And I apologize separately, but I also want to make sure that the project can still move forward. So while you apologize, you don't necessarily excuse the lack of effort or lack of progress. You still have to emphasize that.
Yes, great point. As a project manager, you have to have both.
Manny?
Was Manny next, Ricardo?
Yeah, Manny. Yeah.
All right, Manny, then Karina. You're on mute, Manny.
Sorry. So what I would do is like almost like as well my colleagues have said, I will apologize to the people that were there, and then I will like call James. Oh no, was it James or it was Paul?
It was
We'll call
Paul, yeah.
and
Yep.
we'll call Paul, and I will apologize for like for losing my temper. Because as a leader, I need to admit my wrongs. Then like I had small talk and like why I had to wait like the last minute for it to come up with this. You know, how like have a small talk so we can find a solution for the deadline or for the project for the app.
Thank you, Manny. Last comment from Karina.
Hi. So for one, I would take a step back.
Can you speak a little louder, Karina? Sorry.
What was that?
Can you speak up a little bit? We can't really hear you.
Sorry. Can you hear me now?
That's much better. Yes.
So I would take a step back, cool down, apologize to my team, and also apologize to Paul. But like Hannah said, I would definitely understand like why that person is frustrated. Everything is going perfect, and then you have that one person that is holding you back. So I would pull Paul aside and explain to Paul why I'm frustrated and why we need this done today, and try to work out a plan where we can get it done together if he's having trouble doing it himself.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Karina. Appreciate everyone's comments. Yeah, that's what I think was said was important. I think first of all, you obviously owe Paul a big apology. I think Hannah mentioned it. Everything was going fine up until now. So this is not like recurring behavior. This was new behavior. So something's probably wrong with Paul. So apologizing and kind of getting to the root, like, hey, what happened with this? What's going on? Is really critical. And then the second thing is yeah, apologize to the team. My behavior was really out of line. I take full responsibility for it. And I'm really sorry that this happened. This is not the type of leader I want to be. And I want to make a plan to make sure that we make the marketing strategy on time because we're doing it this week. And that's exactly the approach that I would take. So sort of a blend of what everybody else had already said. So now we're gonna get, dive a little bit deeper into this scenario, and I'm gonna read.
All right, all right.
Yeah, what's up, Ricardo?
Yeah, Eric would like to know what would you do in this scenario?
Yeah,
If
what
you
I
feel like sharing.
yeah, what I just shared. So I would
Oh.
apologize to Paul because that's extremely inappropriate behavior for a leader to have to lose their temper. I would apologize to my team and share with them this is my fault. I'm very sorry. This should never have happened. That would make it a strategy on we need to work together as a team because even though the marketing plan is not put together, it still has to get done this week because we're shipping this product this week, and then we'd put our heads together and make a plan. But yes, I definitely think that it's a both and. I think Mahmoud said it very very well. You apologize for your mistakes, and then you also say we have to move forward as well. We have to get this done. So that's what I would do. All right. I'm glad nobody said, I was worried somebody was going to say, oh, I would just tell, the project sponsor, hey, Paul messed up and we're not going to get it done this week. That's the wrong approach. But unfortunately, some people take that approach. They blame other people instead of taking responsibility. But the best leaders say, no, at the end of the day, like I'm the leader. If things go wrong, guess what? Like it's my fault because I wasn't on top of things like I should have been. So I'm going to fix the mistake. So especially if it's something like what we described in this scenario where it was brand new, it was not like Paul was dropping the ball over and over. It just happened this one time. All right, time to make this scenario a little bit more dicey. So I'm going to read things from Paul's perspective. All right, and then I'm going to put you to breakout rooms, rooms of 3. One of you will be Paul, the employee. One of you will be Tony, the manager, and one of you will be an observer. Let me just make sure the rooms are good. It's all of them are rooms of 3, except for Abna and Nicholas. You're a room of 2 because we have the numbers shake out that way. So you're not going to have an observer. So Amna and Nicholas will just be one of you will be the manager, one of you will be the employee. All right. So you ready for the employee's perspective? Because like Hannah said, there's always 2 sides to the story. This is what Paul says. You're on a project team and to build a new app that your company will use for feedback within the organization. You and your lean team, you have a lean team of only 4 people, Tony, who's the project manager, Mariah, James, and yourself, Paul. Your team works together well and you're delivering on time and under budget. You're ready to go live with the rollout and you are in your weekly stand-up meeting. All right, everything's been the same so far. Now, Tony asks you about the communication plan and it hits you had totally forgot. Your partner has recently contracted COVID-19 and is home and extremely sick. Your 2 children are also both doing remote learning, and it's been extremely stressful for your whole family. You haven't told anybody about your challenges because you're new to the company and you don't want to cause trouble. Tony loses his temper and lays into you, and you rush out of the room to keep yourself from losing it as well. A few minutes later, Tony walks towards your desk and asks if you can speak privately. You follow Tony into a conference room and he shuts the door. Now here's the conversation. So what we're going to do is a scenario. One person's the observer, one person's the project manager, one person's the employee. All right. Now I want you to try to have a conversation on how you would, talk about this together, how you would hash out these problems, and come back in 10 minutes and tell me how you solved it. Everyone clear on the instructions? All right. Good luck. Also, by the way, if you're the employee, don't be afraid to give your project manager a hard time. All right. Don't be afraid to be like, hey, you know what? Like that was really messed up. Like you have no idea what I'm going through. Make them feel bad. And if you're the project manager, don't feel bad about being like, hey, listen, we all have problems. I'm really sorry that things are tough at home. Listen, like, anyways, you figure it out. You're the project manager, you're the employee, or you're the observer. Make it happen.
Hey Eric, can I ask you a quick question?
Of course.
The observer, are they saying anything or they're just observing?
They're just observing. They're not saying anything. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Hey, Majid, are you there?